All right, all right. So hello, ladies. Again, thank you all for coming back, visiting with your old teacher, right? To tell me how you're doing, what's going on with you all, and to talk about the course, right? It was previously called the Teen Leadership course when y'all went through, but just remixing it, making it more accessible where more people can have these benefits of these programs, the skills, all those things. It's a subscription box in course now called Recipes, a rite of passage. So usually people would take it in about middle school, but it has continued to be successful for people as they go through high school as well. So I have a few ladies on here that they're going to answer some questions, tell you a little bit about themselves, what they liked, what they didn't like, right? All the things that came with the course at that time. So if we'll start with Maya, we're going to talk about what grade you were in when you took the course, and you can talk a little bit from there.
So I was grade when I took the course, my middle school, like 7th and 8th grade. And I actually liked the course. I liked your teaching method. I liked the way that you did things. The only thing that I didn't like was like when we had to do everything off the projector. I didn't like that. I feel like it was boring. But I think that's the only thing that I disliked about the class.
All right, thank you, Daniela. No, you're on mute.
Okay, it didn't let me want to mute. Sorry. So I'm Daniela. I was in 8th grade when I took the teen leadership course. And honestly, I don't remember why I took it. I think it was just like, oh, I was trying to like put it in my schedule, but I didn't realize the gravity of like how important it was. That's where I actually figured out that I wanted to go into law. So I remember we had one of the guest speakers. So that was one of my favorite things. Like we had guest speakers come in and tell us about like what they're doing and like what they had. And I remember we had a criminal lawyer come and talk to us. And that's where I got really interested into criminal law. So I went home and I did a bunch of research. And then I found out that that is something I really want to pursue. And the only thing I dislike, like Maya, was the things on the projector.
Funny. I was like, yeah, I mean, we have different technology resources at different points at the school. But yes, one thing that's really going to be beneficial and different, right? So y'all can hopefully co-sign on it, that the course plus it being a subscription box will be a lot more interactive. And Michaela, because I think Maya and Daniela, y'all took the class maybe a few years apart, and then Michaela came about another year or so after you all. So the course did constantly shift. I would make adjustments, right, based on what was working and what wasn't working. That's why that's one of the things that people maybe didn't ask a lot, but I would try to ask you all, like, what do y'all not like? Seriously. And also what I saw was like a common theme amongst y'all young people at that time. So it wasn't the same. It wasn't exactly the same year after year. There's definitely some adjustments. And then also Maya, I know you took it, I think the very first year we had it and kind of remixed it. Plus, it's coming off maternity leave. It was a lot going on that year. But yes, Michaela, what year?
So I took teen leadership my 8th grade year, and I love the class personally. I don't think
I think Michaela froze, so we'll come back to Michaela maybe once she unfreezes. But one thing I was going to say also that's unique about Michaela, I'm glad that she was one of the people that could come on and talk, was we actually got interrupted. It was during that COVID year that Michaela was taking the course as well. So yes, all of you all took the course around 8th grade, but eventually the program was going so well that they made it a required course. So imagine y'all got to choose, but those last couple of rounds of middle schoolers, right, at the junior highs, they had to take it as kind of like an orientation to middle school course, and they took it as sixth graders. So imagine that. So also imagine having it at that point in your life. All right, Michaela, we want to hear from you. I just started talking a little bit because I think you froze up for a moment. But what were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I was saying that when I took the course in the 8th grade year, I liked it. Like, I think the only thing I didn't like was it was first period. So she would always get us involved in stuff, and I just really didn't have energy. I'm not a morning person, but she always seemed to find a way to turn that around and make us do things and get us involved. So I like that. And it taught me a lot about myself. Going into my 9th year. Yeah, and I took that into consideration about how I acted. So yeah.
Ooh, does anybody want to jump in? I said, I can't let that question go. So what were some
Yes.
insights? What are some things you learned about yourself? Yes, go.
So like she was like, I feel like me taking that class, like I feel like it really did help me. I feel like that gave me the drive to like continue to do like the early college program and graduate with my associate's degree. I feel like that did play a major part in it, because when I first got there, that was like that's like the only middle school that I've ever went to. That's like when I first came to Everman. And I feel like it was a really good course for me. I feel like it helped me kind of figure out where my spot is. And I feel like that really helped me a lot. So now that they're making them take it as sixth graders, I feel like that's good.
And as for me, I'm a first generation graduate. And so like I really didn't know how to navigate college or like even know that I was gonna go to college. I was like, maybe I'll go, maybe not. It was like more like making college a reality. And I kind of figured out that I was like looking into more schools, and like Ms. Jones made us do projects on like what college we wanted to go to. And then that made me like think about it more like, oh, I need to get it together. And it really it really did help me, and helped me to like think about my future more. And then that's why I decided to go to the high school I went to, and I will be attending A&M this fall.
So congrats again all around, ladies. All of y'all are striving to work on what you want to work on. And another thing, I hope, and I want to say this because sometimes people say, everybody's just pushing everyone towards college. Remember, the goal was for you to have skills you could use in life, whether you wanted to go straight to a career path or college, you were ready and you got to choose. I think I would say that in class a lot. I want you to be able to choose, right? So seriously, I meant that. I really did. So what was the most, maybe y'all kind of talked about it some, what was the most memorable for you? If you feel like you wanted to add to what you said already, what was most memorable?
The most memorable thing for me was like, as Michaela was saying, like all of the activities that we did, because the period I had it was kind of like in the morning, but it was more towards like around lunchtime, and everybody was eating and stuff. So everybody's like, but I feel like all the activities and stuff that we did, I feel like they really did help us progress in the class. But that was my most favorite part, was the activities. Like, I can't remember the exact one that you made us do, but I remember like we walked in, it was like, okay, everybody stand up. Like, we're going to get this day started. And I was like, okay. So even from then, like that, all the activities was really my favorite.
For me as well, I like doing like the presentation projects. I am a visual learner, and I learned how to make a vision board, and those are things that like I use a lot now, because I'm like, oh, this is what I want, and I have it all planned out and like all where I can see it, and it just like makes me more motivated.
I think my favorite thing for being in team leadership probably was the activities and the organization activities you had us do, because 8th grade was like hectic for a lot of reasons. Like, I was not organized. If I didn't lose a folder, I was losing my phone. If I lose my phone, I was losing my backpack. How do you lose a backpack? No. She taught me how to like stay organized, like the activities and all the things. Taught me how to stay organized, and I use that, and it helps me now because I haven't lost a backpack since the 8th grade. So I guess that's good.
That's so funny, and I'm still waiting. I'm surprised. The last group, I was like, y'all, I'm so shocked that nobody said for their least favorite thing those Thursday organization checks. Like, but I think y'all found the value now that y'all grown up a bit. Because yeah, those first couple rounds, it was all the side eye, all the trying to get ready. But then soon, y'all, it was flowing so much smoother and good. As y'all grew up a little more, y'all found the value in it. So that's been good. That's been a yay teacher moment. That nobody has been like, I still didn't like those Thursday organ, right? But yeah, cool. So was there anything else, I guess, aside from the technology, having to use the projector? Was there anything that was your least favorite that you want to speak to? I mean, that's real. Y'all know we try to have honest conversations so we can adjust and learn. So what else?
That was my only thing that I didn't like, the projector. But I feel like you specifically as a teacher, you made it more fun to us by having activities and things such as, because I feel like if we were just sitting there listening to you talk the whole entire time, like it would have been boring. So I feel like we don't really have a lot to say about like not liking the course because like you made it fun for us.
One of the things for me was like some of the kids didn't want to be there, and they like didn't notice the importance of the course, and they didn't take it seriously, and that was kind of challenging because like they would distract and be like, okay, we can do something else, she can do her. But I think that was the only thing for me that I was like
Well, yeah, I don't really have nothing in the class that I didn't like. The kids I had, we loved first period. We all got along. I think from what I remember, we all got along, and yeah, your teaching always kept us involved. So yeah, there was nothing that I didn't dislike or that I did dislike. So
Okay, so cool. So some of those basic teacher strategies, right? Because just to be clear, and I think Maya, I think you I know you did. You had me for math, and then came on to, so Maya saw the elective Mrs. Jones, then also math class Mrs. Jones. So she got to see everything, and it ran similarly. So that's what it was. That's where a lot of the structure came from. So really quickly, I wanted you all to also think about who in your circle. Remember which one of your friends, or maybe, I kind of use the term friends a little loosely in middle school life, but people that you knew back in the day. Who are some people that you think could have benefited from this course? Like maybe speaking to some of the challenges they may have been going through, or if they didn't have challenges, to some things, would have helped them. No names, I don't need names, but just the general description of the person, right?
I feel like now that they're making them take it in 6th grade, because I don't feel like it should just specifically be for, you should have taken it. You should know. I feel like everybody should take it. I feel like it would be a great advantage for everybody to take it, like how they're making them take it now. So I don't feel like specifically there should be anyone that be like, oh yeah, she should have took it. But I feel like everybody should take it. So I like that they're doing it now.
Why? But why? Because what are some of the things that everyone can benefit from then?
Like Michaela was saying, and like how we were talking about how you made us used to do like the organization stuff like that. I feel like that also helped me a whole lot, because now I'm kind of borderline OCD. But I feel like me going into high school, that was a great skill or asset to help me, because when I did get to high school, we had way more classes. And like when I got to high school, one year we only had 7 periods. The next period we only had 4. Like they was just switching it up, trying to see what worked for us. So I kind of feel like us taking that, it was really, really good to us. So me personally, I don't feel like specifically like, oh, she should have taken it, but I also feel like it's good that everybody has to take it.
Like she said, it should be for everybody, not someone specifically. I love the organization things. Like right now, I live by my planner. I have always have my planner in my backpack to stay organized, and like it also helped with my speaking skills. I was a very shy kid and still was my freshman year, but I got a little bit better about it. Like I was even scared to order my own fast food. But as I went into my freshman year, I was like more okay with like presenting in front of people, because at my school, like we have board members that we have to present to and pitch for the school. So I would be talking in front of 300 people or even way more in front of my classmates doing these things. And I got very comfortable with it.
So actually, I do have a couple, but like only I'm not gonna say one. They were troubled. I'm not gonna say troubled. That sounds like kind of rude, but like they were going through a lot of things that teen leadership could help them with, like a bad attitude and thinking like they were above everybody, and like one of those kids that are always disrespectful while the teacher was talking, or oh, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I don't have to do nothing. Like they were one of those kids, like freshman year and sophomore year, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe they could have taken team leadership, and that probably could help them out, because I feel like if I wouldn't have took team leadership, I probably wouldn't have still been like the very, I don't know. People said I was mean 8th grade. I don't think I was. I think I was pretty nice. But I would probably still have been like mean and like, had an attitude towards adults. And I feel like team leadership and Ms. Jones like helped me. And I feel like that student could use that, because she just walks over teachers and it's like, oh, okay, girl, period. But yeah, team leadership most definitely could have helped with her attitude and how she looks in life after school. So yeah, I think, yeah.
Thank you all for that. And I'm laughing because all of y'all were funny. Daniela, you were more of a quiet funny. You sat close to my desk, but you were funny. You would turn around and be like, Miss Jones. So I just remember some of those moments. And Maya would say, Miss Jones, right? So yes, I love it. I love it. To see the personalities the same, I love it. So last thing, just the overall impact that the course had on you. Some of y'all touched on it. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add in terms of what it taught you and just the overall impact on your life so far.
So for me personally, after I left the 8th grade, I went on to the high school to do early college. And I feel like the skills that we learned in the class, I feel like that actually helped me to progress further than others did, because, I had my organization skills already. I had, like stuff that other people didn't, but we were doing the same thing or like on the same level. But I feel like overall, it did help me get like 2 steps ahead of everybody else. But I feel like, because even when I first, like, I've never liked math, ever. But when I came to your class, like, you made it fun for us. So I kind of got into it. I was like, okay, like, I can do this. It's not that bad. And even my senior year, when I had to take calculus, I always stopped back and I was like, I can do this. Like, it's not that hard. But I feel like for the most part, the class helped me a lot. And I feel like if other people, had the advantages that I did, or if they would have did what I did, they would have, been the same as me. Not the same as me, but they would have had those skills that I had when I went to high school.
So for me, I started thinking more about my future and not just living in the moment and like the friends I had. like I said before, that is why I moved schools and I went to college prep high school. And I figured out in 8th grade, well, as best as I could, what I wanted to do. Like I said, I learned that I wanted to be a criminal lawyer, and made the decision that I wanted to go to A&M. It was my dream school in middle school, and I was able to get in. But I personally feel like I really benefited with the class and like the organization skills and like speaking skills and everything. Every little project we did had a big impact on the course and myself.
So to like piggyback off what Maya said about the she felt like she had like 2 steps ahead of everybody. Well, after 8th grade, you know, the pandemic for my freshman year, so I didn't really get to do stuff. But my sophomore year, when we started TCC classes, and I noticed a lot of kids like weren't, I don't know, how do you not know how to type an email? Or why are you typing email YOU is just the U? Why are you saying their first name? I don't know. It was just little things like that I learned in Miss Jones' class. That I'm like, why are you doing that? How do you not have proper email etiquette? And recently, I was thinking about moving schools. You know, I'm going to forever be a bulldog. I'm going to forever love Everman, and I'm going to forever love the friends I have. But recently, I was thinking, what is best for me? And that happened from Miss Jones' class, because if I wouldn't have took her class, I'm pretty sure I would have just said, I'm still with my friends and just graduate. And Everman does have benefits, you know, with the TCC, but I think Trumbull Tech is a very good school. I read the reviews on it, and actually my 9th grade year, I got accepted into the school, but I was scared to go because I didn't know nobody, and I didn't want to be like an outcast, and I was going to miss my friends. But this year is like, I got to buckle down, and I have to put myself above everybody. And I don't think without Ms. Jones' help that I would be able to do that and put my foot down and say, I think this is best for me, so I'm going to do that. And yeah, Miss without Ms. Jones' help, I don't think I would have went to TCC, because Ms. Jones always told me, I was one of those kids that was like, I knew the answers to everything, but I wouldn't answer because I didn't want to seem like I was smarter than everybody else. I didn't want my friends to be like, okay, girl, anywho. But like going to TCC and they ask us questions, I'd be the first person to answer. And I don't think Ms. Jones would have got me out that comfort zone if it wasn't for her projects and it wasn't for her trying skills. She actually cared about us. Most teachers don't. Most teachers just, you know, act like they care. Like, you can tell when the teacher's acting, but Ms. Jones genuinely cares about us. And she worked hard and she loved her job. You can tell she did. And for that, I thank her, because I probably wouldn't be in TCC, probably wouldn't be, I think I'm top 50 out of 400 kids. I don't think I'll be there right now without Ms. Jones. So thank you.
All right, now I'm trying to get myself together now, you know, trying not to reach for a napkin and everything. But yes. But a lot of the things that you all said, you know, when you were talking about the organization that's come up consistently, the planning. Daniela, you talked about the vision board, and baby, you named A&M your 8th grade year on your vision board, because your vision board, I remember up until last year when I stopped teaching teen leadership there, I was used yours as one of the examples. So, and yes, you had your criminal law and Texas A&M on there. Something else. Oh, so Maya, you didn't call it this, but basically growth mindset. Michaela too, all of y'all talked about just in different ways the growth mindset. So just knowing that maybe it wasn't quite how you wanted to do it yet, but eventually knowing that you have to be uncomfortable. All of y'all talked about that, learning to be okay with being uncomfortable so that you can grow. Right, and making those mistakes because it's a natural part of life. That was a big deal. When a lot of us had to go around that lesson a few different times, a few different ways before it stuck. Because, and I think that's another reason for me wanting to make this pivot and figure out how to get these types of teachings to more people. Because to think about, you know, social media, like, yes, y'all were on social media when I had you all, but I feel like the kids are getting on social media younger and younger and younger. And so people are scared to try stuff because what if somebody's recording me? What if it's not perfect? What if it's, and that's all things that you all went through, right? Whether it was with speaking, like, I don't know, what if I mess up speaking? What if I mess up when I, you know, how are people gonna, like you said, Michaela, how are my friends gonna think about me if I'm raising my hand for every question, like all these different things. But, you know, life, you learned to grow, not, I'm not going to say to grow out of it, but just to know that that's not, it shouldn't be a main focal point. Any final thoughts?
I definitely agree with what you say about like, you know, how like some teachers are scared to, you know, try different teaching methods and try new things. But I feel like in order for education to continue to evolve and be effective, I feel like that's one thing that should happen. Teachers should be more comfortable like trying different ways. Like, oh yeah, I've been doing it this way, but maybe this way may be more effective for the incoming kids, especially with social media now. But I feel like that actually will be a good thing. So I really do like what you're doing. And yeah.
Well, thank you all for the cosign for my young people. And so said my future educator, entrepreneur. I hear you.